Hey, thanks for checking out this video on the off-season needs of the Dallas Cowboys. They are many, of course. Uh, Dallas Cowboys are currently over $56 million over the salary cap. Not a huge deal. They'll get that a little bit under control with restructures and releasing of players possibly. And they have signed George Pickens to the franchise tag, and he is going to cost them, I think, $27 million this year. So they are going all in on the offense again, like they did last year. Didn't work out too well for them. Uh, the Dallas Cowboys offseason needs are simple: defense, 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 and they do have some draft capital. They have two number one draft picks. They have the 12th pick and the 20th pick in the first round of the NFL draft. They need pass rushers. They need defensive backs. And they need linebackers. And somewhere in there, they probably could use another running back. But if they draft an offensive player in the first 5 rounds, I would be surprised. But then again, it's the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, and you never know what they'll do. Jerry Jones was talking about being aggressive in free agency. Well, they've got to have some money to do that. And then they've got to sign the rookies too with the two number one draft picks. So I don't expect the Cowboys to be too aggressive in free agency. But again, you never know. You can move cap down the line. Jerry Jones is not getting any younger. Neither is Dak Prescott. So Jones may want to make a push for a Super Bowl while he's still here, to be honest. So they may just blow their cap up in seasons in the future to try to compete now. It's very possible. But the Dallas Cowboys need to get that defense. If they could get their defense to be average and keep the momentum of the offense from last year, they will be very competitive. Is Dak Prescott a Super Bowl quarterback? I don't think so, but this may be his best chance because he definitely has the offensive help to do it. If the defense can just get a little bit better. Excuse me. The Cowboys are going to have to try to get some defensive help in free agency and in the draft. They can't rely on a bunch of rookies to suddenly turn the defense around. This is not going to be the dirty dozen rookies of the Randy White era, I don't think. But the Cowboys are certainly capable of being very competitive with their offense. And they need pass rushers. I think that's the most obvious need of the Cowboys. But when you've got a high-scoring offense, you put other teams in position where they have to throw the ball to play catch-up. The best way to stop people from throwing the ball in the NFL is to sack them or pressure them into making a mistake. I'm a traditionalist. I think the football starts with the offensive and defensive line. If you've got a bad defense, get better defensive linemen. The more pressure they put on the quarterback, that's less pressure on the defensive backs and linebackers to cover longer. It's simple football 101. If the quarterback's running for his life, he's not as likely to throw and beat your weaker defensive backs. But that being said, the Cowboys do need cornerback depth and they need safeties. And they do have a new defensive coordinator, but he can't coordinate without some players. So the offseason needs of the Cowboys are simply defense, defense, defense. They're pulling the Cincinnati Bengals. They're going all in on the wide receiver core and quarterback. That makes for exciting football, but it doesn't always make for winning football. So I expect the Cowboys to try to sign some bargain free agents, especially to fill in holes on the defense. If they are active in free agency and fill some defensive needs, then they can possibly draft some offensive players. Prescott cannot have enough weapons. So you never know what Dallas will do with that second first round pick. First round pick, they will almost certainly draft a pass rusher. And it's possible they will combine those two picks and trade them to move up in the draft for one of the top pass rushers. And then they won't have to pay two number one draft picks, two first round draft picks. Jerry Jones is a wheeler and a dealer. So he may be willing to do that. Although if I was the Cowboys general manager, and I should be, I pulled for them when they were good the first time. I would use those two picks to add two bodies to the defense. Unless there's just some elite defensive player that they're in love with, which is possible. And then that elite player will play elitely and then go to another team because they don't like to play defensive players. And this Cowboys offseason is very important because, like I said, neither Prescott nor Jerry Jones is getting any younger. And their Super Bowl window is closing quickly, I think. You can only afford to pay wide receivers that much money for so long without gutting the rest of your team. But you're already paying a quarterback ungodly amounts of money. And that's the thing you run into. Even though the salary cap goes up every year, and it's going up this year, when you've got a quarterback making that much money, you're weakening the rest of your roster. And I'm never going to blame a player for making as much money as he can, because NFL players take such punishment on their bodies. Even excuse me. Even though quarterbacks are very protected now, they still get hit a lot and they get injured. And it's devastating what football does to a person's body, unless you're like a punter or a kicker. So I say make every dime you can while you can. But I also say don't make those big contract signings and then, oh, I want a Super Bowl ring. That's all I'm here for. Well, no, it's not. You'd make less money. Take less money. Yeah, Tom Brady used to do that. He would take less money than he could have just to get more players on the team and try to win. And other quarterbacks do that as well. I'm not saying that Prescott and the other high-paid quarterbacks don't want to win, because they do. But they're going to pad their bank first. And again, I don't blame them. You just can't have it both ways. But Dallas Cowboys offseason is going to be interesting, as it usually is. Usually some controversy going on between Jerry Jones and somebody. And I'm not a Cowboys fan anymore, although I wouldn't mind them seeing return to glory and lose to my Panthers in the NFC Championship game. But we'll just have to see what happens in the offseason. I just don't see the Cowboys making many moves in free agency due to their salary cap limitations. I'm more looking at what they're going to do in the draft, and they may also snap up some veteran free agents that get released in salary cap moves and try to get a deal on somebody that wants to be a Dallas Cowboy, because it does help your career and to some degree, because they are still a very popular team, and you can get endorsements and things like that if you're a well-known Dallas Cowboy. Even though I wouldn't call them America's team anymore. I don't know if America has a team anymore that the majority of people pull for, because half the people hate the Chiefs. Most of the people hate the Patriots, like myself. And I don't know. People tend to pull for their own teams and not worry about one team to pull for anymore that's a national team, so to speak. Except the bandwagon fans. And they go back and forth between the Patriots and the Chiefs and whoever's popular that year. But we'll just have to see what happens with the Cowboys off season. Thank you for watching this video. I know I rambled a little bit. If you like hearing an old redneck blogger turn vlogger, please share with 1,000 of your closest friends. Hit that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell. And see you on the next video.